Hello guys, it is Jead, and Premier League team of the season has been surprisingly pretty insane. It's been pretty decent, but there is that one issue that we're all thinking, but we need to talk about. But on top of that, Evo's now getting ridiculous. Evos are literally insane with the new Evo that's come out. I'm probably getting banned on 20 million coins, so we got to talk about what that's happening. What can we expect on the game in the next few days? Well, let's jump into it. Boys, I hope you are having a fantastic start to the weekend. I hope everyone goes and has a fantastic weekend. Is your team playing football this weekend? Liverpool play, decent day, good weather in the UK. Hopefully it's good weather where you are. But don't worry, I might be thick, but I'm not stupid. People on Nate's video that I obviously watched this morning to see what he was saying, doesn't feel like the content is as good as you're making it out to be. And then down here, watch this guy on. Anyone know what he's on? Fentanyl crap. Clearly, people don't like when you're enthusiastic about this game. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're expecting me to come on and say PREM TOTS is awful, it's shocking, you might just want to click off. Probably not for you. I think the content's really good. I think gameplay being bad does not affect the content being really good today. So if you were expecting that, sorry to disappoint. But again, there is that one issue, so I guess I can give you guys that. We're going to start with probably the main thing that everyone saw when we jumped on the game, because a lot of you guys think it's great from what I got from the stream, and everyone else thinks it's overpriced. What do you actually think about Bruno and Casemiro? And let me tell you why I think it is fair. Not amazing, but fair. Now, firstly, there is one huge problem. With fodder being so cheap, and I'm sure you guys have felt this on SBCs, with fodder being so cheap, when they make an SBC expensive, they have to make it expensive by pumping insane amount of high-rated squads in, right? Because fodder's so cheap, the only way they can make this SBC 700k, which is what it is by putting 91, like look at the estate of 91 rated squads in this. That means it is pretty much definitively ungrindable. I will say it, I think it's ungrindable, and that is objectively bad. If you're someone that likes grinding SBCs, this is shocking. However, that's not the SBC's fault. That is EA's fault for making fodder cheap by what they've done for the rest of the game, if that makes sense. This SBC for Casemiro and mainly Brian and Wermo is 700,000 coins. If these two cards were exactly the same as they were now on the market, I think in Wermo would be between 500,000 coins and 1 million, maybe just 500,000 coins. And I think Casemiro would be like 200, 300,000 coins. So in terms of value, yes, they go to untradeable, but in theory, you can put all your fodder into it. I think it's fine value. Not amazing, just fine. That's why I think the SBC honestly is okay. They've just made it ungrindable. However, speaking of making it ungrindable, they actually did give us some really good SBCs when it comes to grinding. Not enough for high-rated player picks. More to actually try and pack Team of the Seasons. Guys, I think this is some of the best set of grinding for Team of the Season cards, not fodder, that we've had in a long time, right? So we get the Week 2 TOTS upgrade, and we also get the player pick, which gives out Premier League players. Boys, both of these are actually like insane. We get a 1 of 3 82 plus Premier League or Barclays Women's Super League player pick. The reason this is so good is because they could have easily made this here like an 80 rated squad or an 81 rated squad, or give like some sort of rating. It's just 7 rare golds. 7 rare golds when 11 rare golds at the crafting upgrade. I'm starting to sway towards doing this as the daily SBC instead of the Team of the Season crafting, which I've been saying for ages, right? I think they're really good. I will say, I was sat with my friend Bruce on call last night, right? I don't know if you guys know Bruce from the streams. He opened, I think, about 50 of these, and in the 50, he got Mariona and Saliba. Okay, like Mariona and Saliba. That's crazy, okay? And the Week 2 TOTS upgrade, we opened a bunch of these on stream. They do not have the absolute best pack weight. This is just essentially the Serie A upgrade last week without a rating. Like, the fact it's not got a rating cap on it of max 94, infinitely better. Just infinitely better. It's 286 rated squads. I don't know, it's infinitely better. The pack weight is on this isn't the best, but like I say, infinitely better. So if SBC content is insane, then what was Evo content like? Because people yesterday were complaining a lot about the content. I think the Evos are getting a little bit overpowered now, which in a good way though, not in like a bad way, in like a this is about time. Now, we got the King of Highbury. On its own, this Evo is a probably 7 out of 10. Like, you look at this, right? Eto, he gets quick step, rapid, and finesse, but has average stats. It's a 7 out of 10 Evo. Like, if you just put it on a card straight off the bat, even the Cisse card has pretty cracked stats because he was already an insane Evo, but the rapid and the, like, not really good for a centre mid, right? It's a good Evo, but just not an insane Evo. So what makes this such a good Evo? Why am I saying the Evo content is brilliant? Well, because it's not just this Evo that makes it really good. Let me know down below, right? Who are we all using in this Evo? And please use a chain card. Look, for example, just look at Footbin. You don't even have to go far. All of these chains here on Footbin, yes, some of them are a little bit mental, but none of them are expired, right? Or none of the ones I've seen anyway expired. You have Rashford, and you guys know Rashford plays insane in game with rapid, low-driven finesse, 94, 93, 95, 5-star, 4-star, insane play styles, intercepts in there as well, but we can ignore that. But you just keep going and you just keep looking. So what about the Dembele chain? Dembele, you can see here, you can get this card. I mean, I don't like the first touch. I'm sure you can get around that. But that's just him straight into the... Yeah, that's because that's him straight into the King of Highbury. There'll definitely be a chain for that. The one I was looking at is you can do this with Gold Pina, by the way. You don't need to use the green Winter Wildcards Pina. There's a very similar chain with Gold Pina. A Pina with Tech, Rapid, Finesse, 94, 94, 92, 94, 90 at 5-star, 5-star. Again, active chain. And this is a pretty insane amount of Evos, but still, active chain for João Felix that gets him to 94, 94, 93, 95, 90. Those playstyles, 5-star, 5-star. In theory, 100 meta rating from Footbin. I wouldn't listen to that too much. But he plays insane in game, like with his body type anyway. The Evo for this, it's not the fact that Evo on its own is great, but the chains that it finishes off, because it gives a third playstyle plus with all the chain attacking Evos we've got from the season pass right now. I think that makes it a 10 out of 10. Again, the Evo not on its own, but just in general what you can do on the game. Everyone should now have with this Evo, and obviously some of the chains, one attacker that just no matter what your team is, gets into your team. Because I don't care what your team is. If you've got a Hansen Harrison card like this that has those stats, which again is a stupid chain, but if you can do these sort of cards, they get into your team, right? And again, you don't need to do these mad, crazy games ones. In theory, you can just go and put a good card into it, like the Dembele or, someone else. But if I was you, I would try and do at least a little bit of a chain to get one of these crazy cards, like a Raka Smashfit, okay? I'm not going to lie, I think I might do Gold Pina in mine. If you want to have a go at me for that, fine. But you know what? We're in April now. Let me do what I want to do. I might do Gold Pina. I might do Rashford. We also didn't get just that as the Evo, though. We got Power Up Evo, another chain, one repeatable times 5. This one's not in crazy. It's pretty average. But what I do like is it gives Bruiser first. The other playstyles it gives, Aerial Fortress Enforcer, like no one cares about. I would say if you're going to use this to give playstyles, just make sure they've only got one that they need and give them Bruiser. Otherwise, it's another chain Evo where you can give someone times 5. That's how you look. You can give him a little bit of a stat boost, and it doesn't improve his rating, which is all we care about, right? Again, I might put it on, like, for example, Oosterwald. You can see there goes 1 +1 defending, +1 physical, and again, doesn't improve his rating, and I can put him into like a fullback Evo, things like that. Whenever we get a chain Evo, yes, it's more games played, but just throw it on a card that's already in your team. Most of you guys will have a card in your team where this fits, throw them onto it. The last thing before we jump into the big issue is that even objectives are pretty insane. Maybe not insane, but yeah. Oh, by the way, has anyone played the Spirit of Africa League tournament? I'm hearing a lot of complaints about people being ratty in that, not giving goals. Has anyone got... Let me know down below. Has anyone got a bad experience about those? I've not started them yet, as you can see. But Premier League Exhibition, these are nothing crazy. It's nothing ridiculous. But for completing it, Team of the Season Wilson looks like that with Finesse, Rapid, Game Changer. Team of the Season Anderson has pinged, Bruiser, and Intercept. Again, the stats aren't insane, but for basically free. But also you get a guaranteed Premier League or Women's Premier League Tots player pack. Again, the weight on them might not be the best, but... that's fine. Like, it really, really is fine. Honestly, it's really, really good. I know people don't always like objectives. That's fine. But I think that's really, really good. Even in the campaigns, go down to the bottom. You get the Flash Rush event, which I don't play Rush, but it does have some nice Evos and stuff in there. You got to test your metal again. You're getting Playstar rewards. You're getting more fodder to, just try and pack more Team of the Seasons. Objectives are all optional, right? You don't have to go and do anything. You get the EFL grind to get Loser. Probably one of the ones I'm least interested in. But even the Croupy, if you guys are someone who likes the silver cards and the silver star sort of Team of the Seasons, probably the best one we're going to get for a while. Incisive, low driven, with finesse, tech, quick step, and first touch. With all the chains out right now, if you wanted to make this card crazy, I'm sure there's going to be an insane chain for him, and he only has striker position, which isn't ideal. But apart from that, he's going to be insane for chains. So even objectives, I genuinely think, again, content was really, really good in terms of what you can do in the game. Anything where you can play the game and have fun with it, really nice. All that being said, what was the main issue then? If all that's so good, what was the main issue? What is causing people maybe not to like Prem Team of the Season as much as, Foot Accountant, which we showed before, was hyping up? Why am I maybe not as hyped as I could be? The pack weight is shocking. Let me know down below who's the best player you guys have packed, because almost everyone had some form of saved packs or some form of packs that you got yesterday. Maybe even you opened store pack with coins. Boys, you might not have been in the stream yesterday. We opened 3 of these 600k packs with coins. We opened probably 3 hours worth of save packs on share plays. By the way, thanks to anyone who came on and did a share play. We actually had a really good stream. But the pack weight itself, what is pretty abysmal. Look at this, okay? For context, again, we did, I'd say, up to 2-3 hours of share plays, including store packs. People were opening store packs with coins just because, it's Prem Team of the Season at the end of the day, and you guys made a lot of coins, right? Look at what we got. So you see these green bars? We were doing the collection book. If you want to see us do the collection book live on stream, like I say, come get over involved in the Twitch. It actually is pretty fun, to be honest. Like collecting match stacks again. But look at the Tots Premier League. Ready for this? You think, okay, you packed 12 out of 22, 9 out of 14, 9 out of 14. The pack, and boys, we opened a lot of guarantees and a lot of store packs. And by the way, it was 1 Szoboszlai, 3 Cherkis, 2 Enzo Fernandez, and then everything else was just these. And it's the same pattern. Look at the Women's League. That's all we got. We did not even get a top 5. We literally didn't even get one. And then the EFL. We didn't get Kramer, which is kind of funny, but we didn't get one of the 3 best ones there either. The only 3 that people probably care about, maybe one of the, maybe Reach, I guess, a little bit, but really people only care about the top 3, even a little bit. The pack weight on the high-end cards in this promo is shocking, and I don't think they should make it so you can pack a good end card and everyone gets them. That's fine. But again, 3 hours of packs, including store packs, it can't. When you do that many, it gives you a sense of like, you know, what the pack weight's like overall for everyone on the game. Apart from probably Cherky, who seemed packable. SUBSRIBE was a one-off. Just Cherky? Like, he's the only one? I don't know. Look, if you boys are in the Discord, what I will say, in the pack show-off, we definitely did see some stuff. Someone got a Bruno next to a Mariona in some packs. I think Champs Reward seems to be giving out. So when we do Champs on Sunday, let me know if you guys have done Champs yet and who you got. Champs Reward seems to be giving out a little bit. What I will say with Champs Rewards is, especially red picks, because the red picks and who's in them, there's only so many cards. You actually do get quite a lot of, for example, Ekatike's, Timbers, and Cherkies and SUBSRIBEs, like those kind of level of cards, which... Look, you want the top row, right? You want the Rice, Gabriel, Bruno, Semenyo. So you want the big cards, but getting Cherky, SUBSRIBE, Ekatike, and Timber for how good they are in this game, and even, I guess, Enzo Fernandez, like, red picks actually might save this because, again, they're pretty much guaranteed. But apart from that, it's pretty rough. And speaking of pack weight, in classic EA fashion, I didn't see it myself, but I assume... people in Rick Stream were getting this, that apparently you can still pack Gabriel. I'm not seeing any other cards, but apparently Gabriel was still in packs, and of course he's meant to have a team of the season, and then obviously everyone's talking about compensation with the Gabriel cards. Let me know, did anyone pack a team of the season card as gold? I'm not seeing it myself, but apparently that was happening quite a lot, which is just funny that if that was happening, EA'd find another way to mess up, but it is what it is, right? This is the tracker, okay? This is now what we're expecting for the next few days, and now... If you're in two camps, right, you're either not enjoying the content or you are enjoying the content. If you're enjoying the content like me, I think we've had a lot of good SBCs already. We didn't even speak about Nikolai, who I don't think is that hyped, but if you want to go complete Nikolai, she's not that bad. Like, she's quite good value compared to Casemiro and Bruno. I just don't think many people will go and want to put that card in their team. But there's a couple of big ones we're missing, right? Caicedo, average to me. The big ones we're still missing from this, in my opinion, is O'Reilly and Schweinsteiger. Schweinsteiger, I think, is going to be shocking. Normally when EA do these SBCs, they don't realise that no one really actually wants that Schweinsteiger unless you make it very affordable. I think EA are going to overprice it and no one's going to care because it'll be like 1592 rated squads and no one will care, right? O'Reilly, I think, is very, very interesting because he has great play style, 6'4", probably have that lengthy build. I think he could be a fullback that gets into 95% of people's teams. So when that one comes out, I think that could hurt left backs on the market, like for example, but also I think everyone will go and do that SBC. Very interested on what the price comes out. But let's see when we get Schweinsteiger as well, because that is going to be big in terms of what EA try and do with fodder now for the rest of the game. And then as you can see, we've also, for example, got some showdowns coming out. Buendia, Shaw, Hutchinson, we got Hansen, the Caicedo, like I said, is coming, the Danny Welbeck, Mark Gahey. Some of these will be objectives as well. I think the Mark Gahey and Danny Welbeck could definitely be objectives, but let's wait and see what we actually get. But the big ones there definitely have to be those two in the top left. Can we get one of them today? Possibly. I think one of them will be Sunday. Possibly they say one of the big ones for in the week, but they could do it on the weekend. They often do a lot of big SBCs over the course of the first 4 days on a team of the season. But boys and girls, market. Why am I getting banned with 20 million coins or possibly getting banned? I'm kind of like joking a little bit, but I'm also not joking. I actually could be getting banned with 20 million coins. How did some of you boys make up to like, I think 500,000 coins last night on the stream, starting from 3k? Was it Swifter started at 3k? And of course, how can we do it again, right? So starting off with what I did, we have met, this is all from yesterday's stream or after the stream. We have bought and sold so many cards. And as you can see, we're still selling things. When everything sells, we should be on about 19.5 to 20 million coins, depending on what we actually get the sales for. We're going to be on, like I say, we're on 17 to 20 million coins. We're going to be doing that Sunday stream, buying the full Premier League team of the season, because we're probably going to lose all the coins again on tax, but why not? A little bit of fun. Essentially, boys, we got one of the biggest market crashes I've seen in a long time, which we said for a while had to happen. Market was too high. Prem team of the season cards, like I said, I think what crashed the market specifically was the cards like Enzo, Cucurella, Ekatike, João Pedro, we've not even spoke about. The cards that are so cheap but so usable. Because, for example, Lautaro Martinez, he was probably like 400,000 coins. When we get João Pedro and Ekatike that are cheaper, more hyped, and probably just better in game, people are going to go sell the Lautaros, go and buy them. So that's why the market crashed. We had so many good cards that were in that sort of mid-range budget. And honestly, right, trading these cards, if no matter what budget you're on, like just fluctuations to the rest of the game cycle is going to be so easy. We'll use Due as an example. Again, you boys all know by now I go on here and I use the FUT GG Momentum Trends. I think it's a really good tool. I go 6 hours. I put minimum 99k in. Of course, you're not on a lot of coins and don't do this, but I put minimum 99k to find cards that are, you know, at least worth trading, like for my budget. But we found Due, for example. You can do this on literally any card, any budget. With the rest of the team of the season, it's going to be overpowered. Just be careful on like which days you buy. Look at this Due card yesterday, for example, on the 3-day. Due pretty much all day going into yesterday, since April 24th, like 8 p.m. here. Before content, he was like 900,000 coins, right? He's had a few dips, and obviously we get that market crash. He never goes back up to what he was originally was, because he's never going to. Because Prem team and seasons here, people have replaced the card. But he went all the way down. We managed to pick some up. I think everyone we picked up was below 700,000 coins. So you're looking to get even below these like bottoms, right? That's how you make coins on these cards. I think we got 693, 692, and then one at 700,000 coins. Is like the 3 we picked up at. And then as you've seen before, we sold them at 783 and 800 back at these high points here, basically. We sold them back at the highs. Everyone then buys the cards for weekend league. You were just looking for the cards with the most meta, so people were actually going to use them in their team. Because if no one's using the cards, like no one cares. People are still using Future Stars Due. He's not the most post meta, but people are still using that card. He's super rare, so when he goes down, there's not that many cards needed to be bought up for him to come back up. And then, like I said, we made, what, about 50 to 100,000 coins per card? Like, that's a really obvious example, but so many cards had that massive drop off. You buy them below the lows, and then you don't sell them back at this because they're never going to get back to that in a market crash. This was like more of a market correction. These prices had to fall. They were too high. But today and even tomorrow should be a great day to fluctuation trade. What I will say is, for every 10 cards, you're going to lose coins on 2 or 3. Like, it's that kind of market where the market's just dipping as everyone packs more and more Prem Team of the Season cards. So yeah, it is kind of risky. I showed you guys I bought about 70 cards overall, like last night. Probably lost coins on 20 of them, but you make so many coins in the other 50 that we're up like 3 million coins. We did trade some SUBSRIBE, and the Prem Team of the Season's moving nice. So I think it's going to go up or down, down. Basically, Saturday's normally, like Saturday midday especially, is normally a peak for these cards. They might have a little dip at content time, 6 p.m. They can then rise into the evening as people buy the teams for champs, and then Sunday they normally fall down quite a bit as, again, people sell off the teams, but also as people basically pack more of these cards from champs and champs rewards. But a card like SUBSRIBE, right, he hit low 400s and then spiked right back up to over 500 again. So as you can see last night, I think I picked up all mine at literally 430, so we nailed the dip, and we actually didn't sell them here. We sold them here all at 490s, like 495. I think we sold one at 517 on a lazy, which is stupid. But again, great dip. Not all the cards move like that, but most of the cards, like we suspected, got too cheap quite early. Like even Bruno. Look at Bruno yesterday, right? Bruno yesterday got way too cheap. He hit about 5. He was way lower than that. I think he got about 5.4 on stream. We've seen it, even like maybe just 5.5, and then got all the way back up towards what, 6 and a bit million coins. Hit a high of 6.6 million coins. If you bought that, you were making nearly 1 million coins on the card. Why did this happen? The cards got too cheap. The Prem Team of the Season cards, on the most, not all of them, but on the most, were better than the cards last week in the Serie A Team of the Season and the MLS Team of the Season. More people care about them. You had a mad rise with Cherky, who in the first hour got too cheap to 400k, then went to like, I think he went 400k to 600k, or I think he hit 600k there, and obviously came back down, because the supply on these cards, like I said, even with Cherky, you get supplied quite a lot, is quite heavy on some of these cards. Again, I suspect these to fall into tonight. If I buy these cards, it'll be Saturday night and then once again on Sunday night. They're the only 2 times I'm going to buy. I'm not even going to try and buy at content time. I'm going to stick to out-of-pack cards. If you're someone who's on a lower budget or just wants something a bit safer, I think today and Sunday, possibly even into Monday, anytime you can get some of the best low-end tots, especially the Prem ones, at basically discard. The only 2 in Prem that are actually touching that are these 2 at the bottom. Both of them, you will be able to win them on bids, I promise you, for like below 12,000 coins, and that's the max I'd go for them. Garner's mainly for Evos because he's 90 rated. Same with Hall, 90 rated actually for Evos, and also there's Prem. These will rise out of packs. They might not rise crazy amounts, but they're Prem Team of the Season cards. People support Newcastle, surprisingly, I know. People support Everton, I know it's a mad surprise. People do support these clubs. People will buy these cards for Evos. They will rise out of packs, but these prices are a little high. Look at Squad Battle Rewards tomorrow morning, maybe at content today, if we get more Lightning rounds, because fucking hell, Lightning rounds again. We could get some crazy packs. And yeah, see what happens with those 2. But we can get them below 12,000 coins. There's probably some other ones from the EFL and the Women's League as well, but the ones that are actually still usable are lovely, again, for out of packs. You can hold them a little bit longer. And what you guys were making crazy coins on, like up to 500,000 coins last night, you're never going to believe it. Mass bids. Oh my god, when we get lightning rounds on a big Friday promo drop, mass bid the fuck out of fodder. All mass bid Niz, boys. 88s, 89s, and 90 rated cards. Just bid at pretty much discard. And people, I think Rodri was the easiest one to win, and you're winning them at 1.5 thousand coins. But not just once, like en masse, 4,000 coins a card. 88s and 89s, respectively, they were just like 1,000 coins pretty easily. And you think that's nothing crazy? If you're winning 88s at 1,000 coins, but you can win 100 of them a minute, and then sell them at 1.8 there, you just do that on repeat, 80k, 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 80k. On repeat, it's ridiculous. So whenever you get promo drops, I know I always say it, but some people still just don't do it. If you're someone who's on below 100,000 coins and you want to try out some cards for tots, just mass bid on fodder. But none of that explains why I'm getting banned. And honestly, I'm serious. I have a pretty decent chance of getting banned. It's all to do with 2 cards I will go over, and it's a good warning for you guys, maybe. Let's see. Imagine we get banned on 20 million coins. A good title and thumbnail, I guess. This Adeyemi card and then this Sorloth card, I think we're coin transfer cards, and we spoke a little bit the other day about doing coin transfer cards. Didn't really realize in the moment, but looking afterwards, they're almost certainly coin transfer cards. I bought all these Adeyemis, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 5, 6. I think there's some on this page here. 8 Adeyemis. I bought them all for below 235,000 coins, and as you can see, we sold them between like 270 and 315,000 coins. And that was all within the space of like an hour. That wasn't like overnight. The Sorloth was even worse. All these Sorloths you're seeing here that were sold for like 190, 195, 204, 204. They were all bought for between 130 and 140,000 coins. And again, all sold within like half an hour. I think they were both coin transfer cards. I didn't know in the moment. They're just like nice fluctuation trades. This was really late at night last night doing these cards. I just want to put a little warning out there to you guys. A lot of people are getting banned at the minute. A lot of people are getting banned. And it's by transferring or by accident buying coin transfer cards and not really realize what's going on. If you see something that looks a bit sketchy on the market, like this Sorloth card at Adeyemi, where they're down 60 or 70,000 coins within like 5 minutes and there's like a page of listings, you might just want to be careful. Let's see, we might be fine. I've done nothing wrong, but EA's ban system doesn't really work, and you can know it gets flagged for, doing the wrong thing. So we've got all the proof here, just regular trades, but let's see. EA's ban system doesn't work at the best of times. Let's see if we still survive to what? La Liga team of the season. Boys and girls, make sure to grind the feck out of this 1 of 3 82 plus Premier League, Women's Premier League player pick SBC. I think it's the best chance you've got of packing a good team of the season. Like I say, Bruce in it got Saliba and Mariona in, I think he did do 100 of them, to be fair, actually. I think I said 50 before. I think he did 100. But doing 100 of these, right, it's not that hard to do with the provisions and all the daily upgrades. Boys, do the dailies. Use an extension on the web app if you want to do it. I don't care. Go and crack open as many of them as possible. Yes, some of you guys are going to have crap pack weight, but let me know what is the best card you've got from one of those if you've been spamming them. Even if it's like someone like a Timber, an Enzo, or even an Ekatiki Toki. I want Ekatiki Toki for my team tomorrow. Go and spam them. Go and make some coins. If you're someone that still trades, if you're someone that likes doing fluctuations, you should have a great time. Use that Due example. Do it with any card that's still meta, out of pack. You should have a great time. Ask me any questions down below in the comments, of course. And I would love it if you boys subscribe. Can we get 20,000? Yeah, 20,000. Can we get 20,000 subs by the end of FC26, despite not a lot of people still playing this game? I appreciate all the support from you boys that are still hanging around here during Team of the Season. I'm still really enjoying it. I think Prem content was actually pretty good. Let's see what we get over the weekend, though. EA could easily disappoint us. So let's see what we get over the weekend. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. And just go and have a fantastic weekend, boys and girls. And yeah, I will see you all in a bizzle.